following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
This isn't just a game, this is iRacing. It is Music City, USA, as we get ready to go racing tonight here in Sim500 Nashville Superspeedway, virtually on iRacing, as we sit now 4 races before the playoffs begin, and we get to the point where drivers start getting eliminated from their chance to compete in the final races of the season for a championship here in the NC811.org Xfinity Series here from virtual Nashville Superspeedway. I'm the captain. We welcome you in on this Sunday evening as we get you ready for 110 laps of racing around this 1.33 mile D-shaped oval, about an hour or so to the east of Nashville, Tennessee. It is the Nashville Superspeedway, and we have a lot to cover here for the next couple minutes. So let's hang out before we get ready for the race tonight. Of course, last week, Milwaukee Mile saw a pretty good amount of green flag racing. And then late in the race, we started getting the influx of cautions that we've started to see a little bit more in Sim500 racing that turned into some pretty big wrecks, especially on a couple of restarts, and Robert Fryery III going to victory lane for the first time in series history. And because of that, this is where we sit in the points. Braxton DeWee still looking for that first win here in the series. He leads. He's got a 28-point lead over Stephen Miles. Mike Kelly's right there. Mac McMillan, Chad Coleman, all there in the top 5. Simley, Donaldson, Dalton, Rivera, Fuller, your top 10. It's down there at 16th. That is your bubble right now. Bob Gillenwater got 7 points over Kevin Stone, who's 1 point ahead of Van Schaik. Livingston with a chance right now. He sits a little less than 20 points there from Gillenwater. You also have J.P. Phillips, Josh Parker, Jeff Ryan. All of these guys are right there in striking distance within 20 points. Eric Arnold's only 22 back. Brian Wortman's only 25 back. So there are so many drivers outside that top 16. All they need is a good race or two, and they could find themselves back up there in contention in the championship race here after tonight at Nashville. As the rest of the schedule coming up, of course, next week you get Mother's Day weekend off for, of course, our times to either spend time with our loved ones or our moms and celebrating Mother's Day with them. Then we come back for Michigan the following week. Then we take Memorial Day week off. Then it's Chicagoland, and then Watkins Glen and Talladega to finish out the regular season before the playoffs start at the end of June at Bristol. So those races are what we have left before we put the playoffs together here in this Sim500 NC811.org Xfinity season schedule. So it's the third time we will race here at this track since the track was brought into iRacing, and so far in the 2 seasons that have raced here, we've had one winner, Pedro Mojica, who is not in the race, of course, racing part-time. Been kind of looking over in case he does pop in here tonight on the grid. Wouldn't surprise me because he's done it a few times already this season, but obviously he's not here tonight, so it looks like we will finally get another winner here at Nashville when it's all said and done. Of course, the track record held by Daniel Falkingham, and it looks like right now those times are going to fall. His time was a 30:60 or 30:56, 30:47 right now, the fastest in practice. So Obviously, it looks like that qualifying lap is going to go down here by the end of tonight, but we shall see when it's all said and done here in the race. Qualifying going to be coming up here in just a minute, and I'm going to mute my mic for just a quick second. All right, so less than a minute to go here in practice. Qualifying is going to begin right now as Mark Jorgensen jumps right up to the top with a 30:45 as practice wraps up here from qualifying, I should say, and that, of course, is going to be presented by 811. No, it's below. Call before you dig as we crown a pole sitter here for this 110-lap race at the Nashville Superspeedway. Who is going to be the first one out there to log a lap? It looks like it is going to be the one of John Schweikert in the LaRue #1 car. As I mentioned, the track record just a few minutes ago, likely to be broken here by who's the question. A lot of times been on top of each other when it comes to lap times around this speedway. Schweikert climbs up to the top side there just to get the run off the corner into the D-shaped part of the oval. So as you see, the track record has fallen. John Schweikert broke it first with a 30:47. You see Phillips has gone to the pole with a 37:47 with a 1. Schweikert goes to a 45 and goes to the pole. Who else can do it as we get other cars out there now onto the track? Here's Justin Fuller as he crosses the line. Right now, Fuller 31:103. Dan Scheich 30.481. Mike Kelly 35. So the top 7 so far have broken the track record in this car. Let's see if Fuller can do it. He's been one of the hottest drivers on the circuit. Easily had a car to beat there in Milwaukee last week and wasn't able to finish it off. He has P6 with a 30:51. Mark Jorgensen up to 4th with a 30:48. Of course, he ran at 45 on the second lap. Can he pull it off? That was actually his second lap, so he's done. So he's P4 right now in qualifying. Anthony Calantoni, the Jersey driver. Let's see what he can do in that Talking Giants Chevrolet. And he goes nowhere. P5, 30:50. Who else out there on track here? Stephen Miles, who's been getting some better qualifying runs here of late. Won the pole a couple weeks ago. Got his first win at Daytona, and now is 17th, 30:62 for his lap. And Tyler Dalton finishing his lap. And here's, I believe, a newcomer to the league here. He's in the 79 car, so we're going to just call him that. And that is David Santini. And he goes to second with a 30.46. So good lap for David. Tyler Dalton 10th. Tommy Ryan 22nd. Jeff Ryan there 33rd. Or I'm sorry. Jeff Ryan is 25th. Ron Holyfield 29th as Joe Hudson and Jose Gonzalez get out there to run laps now. Got about a minute or 50 seconds or so left here. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. And across the line, Gonzalez's lap of 30.59 there. Good lap for the 26 car. Joe Hudson on track. Jimmy Coleman going to try to get a lap in. He's probably going to run out of time as he's only got about 10 seconds left. And Joe Hudson is 30th as he comes off turn 2. So John Schweikert going to win the pole here at Nashville Superspeedway. Congratulations to him with a 30.451. That is a new track record. And a big shout out to 811. Know it's below. Call before you dig. Let's go trackside.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, the grid is set as we get ready to go racing here at Nashville Superspeedway for 110 laps around this tricky track. D-shaped oval, 1.33 miles as mentioned, fast speeds down into the corners that are very tight, and of course a concrete surface, which could mean anything when it's over with. Here's a starting lineup for the race. John Schweikert, the Ohio driver, starting on the pole alongside David Santini. Not sure if this is his debut or not in the series, but he'll start there in P2. JP Phillips, Charles Van Schaik. Van Schaik, one of those drivers right on the edge of the playoffs. He starts P4. Mark Jorgensen Jr., Anthony Calantoni in row 3. Row 4, Justin Fuller. And the 8th position, Matthew Martell. Mike Kelly, he will start there in row number 5 alongside Tyler Dalton. Bob Gillenwater and Kevin Brown there, row 6. Row 7, Robert Fryrie III and Braxton DeWeese, CJ O'Rourke, Jose Gonzalez. Wesley Donaldson, Eric Arnold, row 9. Row 10, Stephen Miles and Brent Scott. Glenn Campbell, Scott Simley, row 12. Row 11, row 12 is Tommy Ryan and Scott Formosa. Row 13, Coleman, Ryan, Barber, Robert Barber that is, Kevin Stone, Alan Wild, Joe Hudson, Holyfield, Wortman, Parker, Coleman, Barry Stevens, I believe his debut tonight, and Doug Sigmund, the 36 cars, at Gerald Livingston, 37 cars. That'll start the race tonight. 110 laps, the usual iRacing default weather. Track temp sitting at a 111 right now. For league information, you can go to sim500.com and be a part of the series as we get closer and closer and closer to the playoffs. It's that time. It's crunch time for those who believe they can make it into the playoffs. It's their time to shine as we come to Nashville Superspeedway. Who's going to see the checkered flag tonight? First, we see the green flag. Our cameras tonight, as usual, presented by TrackCams22.com. You check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. Schweikert leads him down the back straightaway. Phillips and Santini there side by side for second. You're going to see the 14 on Santini's car. He is actually the 79, so you might hear me reference that number tonight. Just know that's who I'm talking about. Not that we know many things that I talk about sometimes. As Schweikert leads lap 1. Braxton DeWeese having a rare, rough qualifying run here in Nashville, looking for that first series win. And here he is battling with E.J. O'Rourke, 15th position. He's got to be very patient here tonight. One thing I usually do around this point of the race is talk about the average racing we've had here at Nashville Superspeedway, as in like average amount of cautions and so on and so forth. But lately I've done that and it's kind of changed, at least. As yellow fever's been kind of showing up towards the end of some of these races here the last couple of weeks. But let's just put it to you like this. If a caution waves tonight in this race, it's the first caution at this track in 3 races. Not trying to jinx anything here, but a fact's a fact. As we complete 3 laps in the books. Right, doing a good job being patient. That 39 car, that is Mark Jorgensen. Usually see him in the 88. Down into 1 and 2, Calantoni, Martell. There's Tyler Dalton back there also. There's Kevin DeBrown, Jose Gonzalez, Bob Gillenwater. That 4 car, good side-by-side racing, all back here around the 10th position right now. 1 car blinking back there, looks like a yellow car. Track can become very fun. One thing I've been hearing a lot here in this race tonight is the looseness of the car, especially in the longer run off the corner. So that's going to be something we'll have to keep an eye on. I know turn 3 and 4 has been notorious since this track was released for being a little loose, especially about 3/4 mark on. We'll see if that continues to be the case here this evening or not. Everyone pretty much holding pretty tight to each other here throughout this race. As I say that, Robert Barber goes to the inside wall here in the 57 car. He's off the track. So there shouldn't be a yellow as he comes back onto the apron here. And we will stay green, but that 57 car is torn up. Not sure what happened to him. Let's see if... Looks like it's back here around the Scott Simley area, potentially. Looks like it might happen next time around. Simley giving him plenty of room there on the bottom side. That is Chad Coleman there in front of him. I believe that's Formosa there in that 80 car. That black and yellow car. Oh, right there, they door bang each other in the 57. It's knocked down the track, back ends into the wall. Deck lid goes flying off and everything. So unfortunate break for the 57, but again, we stay green. So back to it. Schweikert leads by about a tenth of a second. Santini. Don't know much about this guy, but obviously shown up with a rocket ship here in this 79 car. JP Phillips looking pretty good here early. The 23 of Van Schaik having a good run, but a lot of different names up here to start this race up at the front. You could probably credit that to practice numbers and stuff. Obviously, a lot of people were here from the beginning, and with the race going on right now in real life, you've got people that stay out and just kind of watch the race or whatever until the end of practice, and they come in and run a few laps. So that could be the reason why you're seeing some of the guys towards the back of the field, and that's where you might see some comers and goers in this race. Tyler Dalton, 10th position, right there at Cal and Tony. Jose Gonzalez, Kevin DeBrown right there behind them. As there's Bob Gillenwater. As he'll make the pass on E.J. O'Rourke for position. Wesley Donaldson there behind him. Appreciate the viewers who are checking us out here so far. Make sure you get that word out. Let's share the word with some people, some friends, family who like watching racing and stuff, especially here on iRacing. You can share that word out. I know one thing I should share is that we have started getting a lot more views. Not necessarily on the racing side, but kind of a highlight side of things, as we've started doing YouTube shorts last week. And now if you're one that likes watching those, or like YouTube's version of TikTok, then you might have caught in a couple of the Captain Esports Network videos out there in the land. And if so, make sure you check them out, share it with friends or family or whatever. I know we've had views of over almost 300 or 400 apiece every video. We showed last week the battle at Dover in the Cup race, and shown finishes all week long. It was an experiment, but now I've kind of figured out what I want to do with it. So look for, obviously, when this race finishes, probably tomorrow, a video up on the YouTube short of the finish or any exciting moments in this race. As always, I try to find ways to build viewership to help the leagues out. Exposure for all. Robert Barbert's pit road now with that damage, so 57 off the track as we watch Braxton Deweese in that 5 car battle with Wesley Donaldson holding him off, but then getting that run on the 4 car to the inside of Gillenwater. He'll take that position away. You see the off throttle time. As battle for second, here comes JP Phillips as Santini has now started to fall back a little bit. Tries to get around him, not able to do so. Now he's going to try a diamond here. Top side, going to try to cross him over to the left, just not able to do it. Listen to how much time you were off the throttle. That's why I talked about the track here. Got the long straightaways here with a lot of speed in it. Then you get the corners that kind of drive like a short track. That's Phillips looking back, seeing this battle. Van Schaik and Jorgensen for position. Ooh, almost some contact there. And it looks like Jorgensen's going to shoot in there and take the position away here. Mike Kelly and Martel side by side here, tight. Jose Gonzalez there, also Calantoni. Contact, and around goes Martel. And for the first time in this track's history, we have a caution. At least in Sim500's Xfinity car. So we ran 160 laps in the first race. Or I'm sorry, 150 laps, 110 in the second. And we ran 20 tonight. So do the math there. That is simply 280 straight laps of green flag racing before the first yellow in the Xfinity Series history at Nashville for contact between Mike Kelly and Matthew Martel. And let's see if we get cars to pit road, but first let's roll that beautiful bean footage on the replay here. Not going to be so beautiful for Martel. I kind of pushing them up the track there just a little bit. Come off turn. Oh, net code. A little bit of net code. They were to hit it, looks like, maybe. But definitely a little bit of gap there between the 51 and 2. And right now, I'm not seeing the cars come to pit road yet. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll look at it right on cue. I say that. There they come to pit road. So let's jump back. And we do have some cars staying out. Otherwise, it is feeding time at the Zoo. And it looks like Wesley missed his pit stall there. We did have 3 other cars stay out, 4 tires and fuel, it looks like, for everybody here. Schweikert going to win the race off pit road. O'Rourke, Simley, Wortman, and Donaldson going to stay out here early in this race. Let's peek back real quickly at the caution. Let's go to the crash cam here. See if we can confirm the net codage. See the net code there, hooks him around. Now it's hard to tell if they would hit there because obviously because of the net code he spun across his nose. But obviously a tough break there for the 51. Let's step away real quick. Let's hear from our sponsors, 811. Come back, get you more racing as EJ O'Rourke leads now at the first caution of the Sim500 811.org Xfinity Series here on the Captain Esports Network.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
All right, back we are here on the Captain Esports Network, Sim500 racing from the Nashville Superspeedway as we're still at 2 to green real quick. And let's get a quick word with last week's winner and see how he's feeling. Robert Fryer, you got a copy?
Yeah, buddy, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm good. Obviously, last week you had the ups and the downs there in a 2-day period, winning the Sunday race and then wrecking on lap 1. We won't talk about the second part. How's it feel now to be a winner in this series? I know you're running 22nd right now, but it's got to feel pretty good.
No, it feels great. I just hope out of everything that we get out of this for my own personal gain as a win, but also for just some better, cleaner, more respectful racing. Like that checkup that cost me back here at 24th, I was letting Braxton catch his car, and the result, the field passes me, but I lose a ton of track position. So it is what it is. I want it to go around. I want everybody to be respectful.
Absolutely. No, it's well said. So Obviously, we wish you the best of luck here. 22nd, still plenty of time to go, and hopefully we'll get another chance to talk to you later.
Yeah, we'll be good. I like this place. It'll come around.
Absolutely, buddy. Robert Fryery, the 77 car. Now I gotta sit here and remember what channel he came from.
I'm in LaRue Sports. Thank you.
Thank you, LaRue Sports. There's a lot of channels in here. Man, but thanks to him for spending his time with us. We get ready to come back to the green with 2 cars now staying out. Brian Wortman came to pit road, and Wesley Donaldson came in and got his tires and fuel. So E.J. O'Rourke going to lead him to the green. Scott Simley in the inside lane will be second, and the 4-tire brigade of Schweikert, Santini, Jorgensen, Phillips, Fuller, Van Schaik, and others as we come to the green here at lap number 25. EJ launches. Here we go. Schweikert with a big start to the bottom side here. Caught Simley in the middle. Ooh, Simley got a little loose up there at the 79, who's able to still carry that momentum down the back straightaway here. Santini to the bottom, going to take the lead away from EJ. There's where the tires' importance come into play here. Now for EJ and Simley, those guys will have a set of tires later on in this race. We'll see if that comes into play as Jose Gonzalez goes spinning to the inside and saves it. It's saved there on the 26's part. It only makes sense that the 26 would go around on lap 26. But we stay green. Good save on everybody's part. Good side-by-side racing here. Kind of opening up the track here at Nashville. This used to be one of the big bottom feeders back in the heyday, and of course, they stopped racing here for a while after it looked like the track was going to shut down, and then Dover Motorsports came in, bought the track, and have literally reinvented it and brought it back to life, and we've seen some great racing here since its return, and of course here on iRacing now. Hello, Jameson Campbell. Welcome to chat here tonight. Of course, Krista Weiss watching. These were 3 wide. Simley just free falling now. O'Rourke gets to the wall. Yeah, it's not 5 wide, but this is a mess right here. Oh, and Campbell saves it. Now they're spinning back there. And I think everybody has saved it so far, somehow. And we stay green. I mean, it was like 2 or 3 cars sideways there, and all of them kept it back straight. That was impressive. Somewhere about right in here. Watch in front here, you're going to see Campbell is going to get turned sideways. He straightens it out. Jimmy Coleman gets turned sideways. He straightens it out. If that was not a good lap to be a Transurface sponsored car. Let's try that again. Right there, Parker gets into Campbell. And then Jeff Ryan gets in the 54 car. Great save on everybody's part there. As Santini continues to lead 1/10 of a second over Schweikert. Phillips, Justin Fuller now up to the 4th position. Jorgensen 5th, Calantoni. Kevin DeBrown, Braxton Deweese up to 8th. Mike Kelly, Van Schaik down to 10th. front roughly 18 or 19 cars now. Just single file logging laps here. EJ O'Rourke, unfortunately, free falling there. Jeff Ryan in the newly painted Mountain Dew car. Media from Morsa there. The yellow and black car, the all-black car, Josh Parker. As a battle for the lead, here comes Schweiker to the inside. See if Santini can hold him off in his top groove. Schweiker gets a little loose there, might have to reset. Braxton in the 5 car. "35 laps in out of 110. Doing a good job of widening out here with this weather, of course, right now. Braxton able to cross over, see if he can get to the inside. Calantoni carrying that outside momentum. Braxton getting a little loose on the bottom. Very easy to do when you have to lock that car down. Good save on his part so far. Definitely seen a lot of dust fly off these cars as they scrape up the wall. So it's kind of weird being a guy that delivers packages for FedEx in this case. There is somewhere in this area of the racetrack. Now, I've never been to this area. I've been past it, but never to it. Somewhere in the area is an AT&T warehouse or something, or a cell phone warehouse of some kind. I say that because almost once a week, there is a package I deliver to somewhere. Doesn't matter where, a bunch of different places. That'll come from a place, and it's labeled literally on the sticker AI, and the address says Darrell Waltrip Boulevard, Lebanon, Tennessee, which is this right here, is Lebanon. So it's kind of funny I bring this up, but somewhere in this area is an AT&T or some kind of cell phone warehouse building, and other stuff too. I've picked up other packages and brought it back to the building. I go to like tire places or whatever there in this area. So obviously a very building area right here. So Santini holding on to the lead by 2/10 now over Schweikert. Phillips right there. I mean, your top 14 cars all separated by 3/10 or less. And you got Chad Coleman, who started 25th. He's up to 15th. Tyler Dalton, who's struggling tonight, 16th for him. Brent Scott, Josh Parker all right here. And how about this battle? Stephen Miles, Wesley Donaldson, and the 3 of Jeff Ryan. As Miles clears the 3 car, Wesley Donaldson there behind him. Jeff kind of clipped the apron there. It sends him up the track. Here comes Wesley now. We got a couple battles now. We got the Wesley battle here with Jeff Ryan. He's going to clear him. Let's jump up here because Alan Toney making moves here is Kevin DeBrown, and caution. Gerald Livingston and Scott Formosa, and Livingston has parts literally falling off his car. Gerald Livingston, another driver right there on the bubble in the 93 car, has trouble and has to tow back to pit road. Obviously contact with he and Formosa. And that brings the caution out here for the second time. And this was right after we cut away. What happened here? Ah, he got too tight. Went in there low and just got tight and locked it. Well, he went to lock it down, went to straighten it back out, and Gerald Livingston plows him. Probably one of those, unfortunately, where the 80 could have locked it down, but he tried to get her back going and brings the caution out here. And we've got a little bit of a split field on pit road here. Yeah, he clipped the apron, actually. Let me take that back. He clipped the apron, and it sent him up into Jeff. He spins it and then tries to drive it down the track, but Gerald is nowhere to go. Unfortunately, a lot of cars here coming to pit road. Looks like about half the field is here. Schweiker, Dalton, Phillips, Scott, Fuller, a lot of these guys. Santini actually is going to stay out along with Kevin DeBrown and others. You get 3 extra sets of tires in this race. And for some of these guys, this is already 2 sets, I'm thinking, being gone. Which leaves them 1 set for the next 70 laps. All right, let's step away real quick. Let's hear from 811. Come back, get you more green flag racing from Nashville Superspeedway as you're watching the Captain Esports Network.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
All right, back live here on the Captain Esports Network. 30, or make that 44 laps complete as David Santini, making his first start, at least of the season, if not in Sim500, leads this race here tonight as he has stayed out along with Kevin DeBrown and others. The top 15 cars all stayed out here as others have come in and likely used their second set of tires, which is a very bold strategy, Cotton, as Kevin England likes to say Monday nights with me. Which, speaking of Monday nights, tomorrow night, we're in for a good time. In for a good time we are, as we have gotten into the big time racing now here at Sim500 and the Cup Series. Of course, I was going to tell you what track we're at, but now the program I'm using is locking up. So, give me a second here as we go to the Kansas Speedway, I believe, tomorrow night to go racing there in the 811 Cup Series. Just going to fact check myself because I've been wrong so many times before. And we do go to Kansas Speedway tomorrow night. 200 miles of racing. Hopefully you'll join us tomorrow night from Kansas. And let's hope the racing's like what we've seen on TV earlier today. Of course, I turned it off at 7:30 to come over here and do the broadcast. No spoilers. I'll watch it later when I get done. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Now, as we get ready to come back to the green, Santini on the inside lane, Kevin DeBrown. Don't spin the tires, boys. Mike Kelly, Charles Van Schaik, Bob Gillenwater, your top 5. Look at this. Everybody's got to find somewhere to go. Like driving on 65 north of Nashville. You head towards Kentucky. These guys are going to make moves on each other here. Good news here is this track is off I-40. Nowhere near Nashville, so we're got a little bit of room to get to, well, an hour, I should say. It's a little bit close to it, but Mike Kelly's gone to the front up here. Past Santini, Kevin DeBrown right there with him in third. Mike told me before the race, man, I just want to get finished. That's all he wants. He's had some rough luck here these last few races. He says the late race yellows have been killing him. As Jimmy Coleman in the middle, 3 wide. 39 getting free down there on that apron. That transition. Save on Jorgensen's part as Coleman falls back. First car on tires, John Schweikert working at topside on Gillenwater for 7th. Three wide in the back again. Somebody's got an outside wall back there. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. You see, not sure if that's, I believe that was O'Rourke back there throwing kind of a block, if not Fuller. One of those lids cars, or units cars, I'm sorry. Some pretty wild racing here so far in this race. 3 wide back here with DeWeese and Calantoni. Tyler Dalton. Sorry, getting him mixed up with others. There's Phillips. 15, Alan Wild. This race has got everything and more right now going on. Fantastic stuff here. Up front, here comes the fresh tires. John Schweikert is carved through the field. And this one car definitely showing his muscle tonight as he takes the lead. LaRue Motorsports looking to get their 2nd straight win. Stuck in the middle again. Gonzalez on his outside there with Phillips. Luis joins this battle also. Robert Friery, Anthony Calantoni all in here. This is a gaggle. Oh, man! Contact and checking up and more contact and checking up and wrecking Gillenwater, Tommy Ryan. And Friery involved. Jimmy Coleman goes around. As they say in racing, sometimes if you have any luck, or it's good to have, of course I'm going to lose the daggum slogan. Sometimes Bob Gillenwater's got no luck. That's where I was trying to go with it, but I couldn't think of the slogan. Anywho, caution out for the 3rd time. It starts with a big checkup here. Gillenwater's going to get into Gonzalez there. He gets loose And then Calantoni's going to get kind of tight there behind Gillenwater. They make contact, more contact, and then Tommy Ryan and Gillenwater hook into the wall. Friery nowhere to go for Kevin Stone. I thought that was Eric Arnold. It's not. And others get involved. Let's go far chase for this. The old crash cam. These guys went 4 wide and missed it. How about that? Martell gets through. So it's going to start. It looks like Bob just gets tight going into the corner on Jose's door. And right there makes that contact. Slides down, gets into Braxton a little bit. He gets loose. Bob gets loose, and Calantoni gets up into, and then they go 4 wide, and then everybody hits everybody here. Scott Simley gets involved. All right, so more pit strategy here as Schweikert, Fuller, Phillips, and those guys stay out here. Jose Gonzalez stays out up to the 4th position. And now you've got guys like Mike Kelly, Santini, Kevin DeBrown, and others that have come to pit road here at lap 54. So right at the halfway point now, these guys come for their 2nd set of tires. So that leaves, if I'm seeing numbers correctly here, of course, I don't have any kind of telemetry like this, but that would mean that Jose Gonzalez is the only person still with 2 sets of tires left in this field. Get Schweikert up here and have a quick word with him while we're under caution. Not trying to pull the old broadcaster's jinx here, but we're going to pull you up here because you've been pretty darn fast, Mr. Schweikert, in that one car.
Yeah, how about that? Surprisingly, got a little speed tonight.
Yeah, I've been cutting through the field there with those tires. Just talk about just that edge of you want to get the track position as quick as you can, but you got to be patient doing it.
Yeah, for sure. It's a risk reward thing. Like, are you willing to put yourself in a position and take your chance, your race out, and other people's by being a little risky and going through the middle? But saw a little gap and tried to get myself in good position and be ahead of all the guys with fresh tires and had some speed. So definitely not up here just because of pit strategy.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So obviously we're at lap 57 here. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're all down to one set of tires now, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm hoping for like a 20-lap run, 25-lap run, probably. I think those guys may be able to get to us by then. And then hopefully we all pit, and then we have a good battle to the end.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, obviously Robert got that win last week. I'm sure that's a little motivation for you. So go get him here in the last half of the race. See if you can get yourself a win.
Yeah, we've been knocking on it, quite a bit here lately. Had some speed lately, so definitely want to try and get the one in victory lane.
Absolutely, man. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. John Schweikert right now the leader as he's getting ready to go to green. He's led the most laps here this evening. And now has used the pit strategy to jump back up front, but he's got a very hungry and, well, very hot driver when it comes to results here the last few weeks. Justin Fuller and that 55 car there on that outside. JP Phillips, Jose Gonzalez with the oldest tires now in the field. And Braxton DeWeese, your top 5 as we come back to the green. Lap number 57 here at Nashville Superspeedway as Schweikert's on it. Here we go. A little bit spread out of a start here. I see Coleman start to roll up there in at 26. Glenn Campbell, who almost wrecked a few minutes ago, he's there in 7th now. E.J. O'Rourke, Josh Parker back there at the edge of the top 10 now. And then here goes this mess again. what? Let's let you enjoy it. Turn it up. "62 laps in the books." You see the battling going on as everybody races for that track position. You heard Schweiker talk about it there. Everybody down to one set of tires. The only one that has two, to my understanding, is going to be that 26 of Jose Gonzalez. And there he is under attack right now, as he's got Brent Scott there in that 33 attacking him. Mike Kelly there in the 2. Also, there's Santini and Anthony Calantoni, Kevin DeBrown. And those guys have pitted there at the 54 caution. They've been pretty tight on each other throughout this race, and Kevin DeBrown diving in there in that 93 car. Oh, contact, Mike Kelly and Gonzalez. And I saw one other car go to the infield, and caution out again. Oh, and Wortman about clobbered Kelly. Calantoni was the other car. Caution comes out again. That's when you think these guys might be able to get themselves into a run. Unfortunately, carnage as 26 bounces off the 33. And Mike Kelly gets the raw end of this. Good news for Calantoni is the grass here is very wide, so he had plenty of room to go over there and catch it. Good save on his part. Pretty sure we're going to have some unhappy drivers here tonight. After that, and that unfortunately takes the one car that had the one set of tires, or two sets of tires left to race with, and puts that strategy out of play. So we're coming up on 3/4 of distance here, so let's step away again. Let's hear from 811 as you're watching the Sim500 Xfinity Series here on the Captain Esports Network.
What a nice day to install my new mailbox.
Hi there, friend. I'm Dig Safely Man. My job is to ensure you call 811 before you dig.
Why do I need to do that?
Vital utilities like natural gas and electric run just beneath the Earth's surface. Damaging them can cause service interruption, environmental hazards, or personal injury.
I thought only contractors had to call before they dig, so homeowners do too.
Call 3 business days before you dig unless you have x-ray vision. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
All right, back we are here at Nashville. Big shout out to the bottle of water I'm drinking. I was able to go get during that commercial. Appreciate the viewers who are checking us out here on the Captain Esports Network on this Sunday evening. Of course, tomorrow night, Kansas Speedway for the Cup Series. And we've got a full week of racing again coming up for you this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then back here on actually be Mother's Day next Sunday, so we're off next week. So Schweiker going to take the outside lane here. So just looking at the numbers real quickly, it looks like Miles came to pit road there, Jose Gonzalez, Hudson, and a few others on pit road there. And not sure if, you know, how that's going to, I know Gonzalez had 2 sets of tires left. As for the rest of the field, not so sure. We'll have to see. Hey, go find your shoes, Daddy. All right. Appreciate you checking in. Hello. One of my newest viewers. I don't even know who the guy is or girl. I'm guessing with Daddy it's a guy, so I don't even know his name. But he's checking in for the second time. Watched us on, what was it, Friday night? Was your first night watching? All right, so getting ready to come back to the green with 42 laps to go. As Schweiker going to bring him to the green flag there in that outside lane. He's got Fuller, he's got J.P. Phillips, Braxton DeWeese, Chad Coleman, Glenn Campbell. Your top 6 as we go back racing. DFYS Daddy, to answer your question, all the leagues, I'm just double checking in my head here real quickly. All my leagues start between 8:30 and 9. All the green flags. So there's not one that's any sooner usually or later. Like tomorrow night will be well after 8:30. As one car gets pushed up the track a little bit there. That's Gonzalez. Miles takes advantage of that, goes 3 wide to the bottom. Eastern time, by the way. Look at that, beat him to the question. Y'all see that? Glenn Campbell cleared Parker. Kevin DeBrown there also with the 39 of Jorgensen. Joe O'Rourke, Anthony Calantonio, those guys battling. Schweiker holding off Fuller right now by a 10th. Braxton DeWeese right there with him. Phillips, and then there's the Iron Man, Chad Coleman. Oh, 3 wide contact! Kevin DeBrown, I think, misjudged where Parker is, and he and Jorgensen go to the grass. we stay green. Tony, Wesley Donaldson here, one car blinking inside, it's EJ. There's the 79 of Santini battling it out also at the same time here. Let's go back to the spin here with Josh Parker. Looked like one of those where, I don't know if Kevin got spooked that the wall was right there to his outside and moved down on Josh. You see Parker slides up. Ferguson goes 3 to the bottom. And just a tight squeeze, unfortunately. Both of them go sliding through the football field, basically, if you will. Josh does a good job locking it down. See if we can get a better shot at this. Parker, unfortunately, just kind of just a bad spot there. Oh, in trouble. Kevin Brown and Glenn Campbell go around. And once again, a caution. I don't know if these two are chasing each other, but it looks like two kids running through the playground. I think they're just trying to get caught up to the pace car, but I could be wrong. This is battling up near the 6th position. And Kevin's roaring up through the field like he's got somewhere to go. That's why I'm like watching this. He's not going to go to pit road. He's going to stay out here. So let's go back and see what took place here. It's just times where you watch people roar back up through the field under caution and you're like, all right, something looks up here. Oh, and Kevin just kind of eases his way up into Glenn there. And then Glenn starts chasing Kevin here like, I mean, I don't think anything on purpose here from Glenn, but it almost looks like he's chasing him because Kevin took his lunch money or something on the playground. Anyways, watch again here. Yeah, just Kevin just looks like just eases his way up the track here a little bit. Just gets in the slight net code, but I think they might have hit each other anyways. No one really coming to pit road here outside of 16th on down, or I should say besides 16th on down, as now you wonder if these guys just took their final set of tires. If so, this is interesting because now you've got 33 laps on no more tires. If you get a caution now in the next 30 laps or 20 laps, might as well build a lake out front because you're going to be sitting in it like a duck. This race has definitely had its ups and downs here tonight. Wonder if there's a full moon or something. I talked about going into this race. We had not had a single yellow in 2 seasons at this track on the Xfinity side. And here we are now at 5th caution of the night. As a matter of fact, how about this nugget for you? This is the 15th race that has been run in all of the series of Sim500. This is from super late models to the trucks, Trans-Service Truck Series, to, let's see what else is on this list here. Midnight Thunder, Monday Night Cup Series, and it looks like that's about it. So those, 4 or 5 series I just mentioned. Going into tonight's race, there had only been 3 cautions total in all of those races at this track. We're now at 5 tonight. Oh, you know what? Let me correct myself here. I'm just looking over the numbers one more time here. Let me correct myself. There's it averages 3 cautions a race in all the races here. We did have. I'm looking at numbers. I'm like, wait, this ain't making sense. Yeah, a couple of series have had like 7 or 8 or whatever. A couple have had caution frees. A couple 1 caution races. So an average number of 3. So let me correct myself on that stat. Fact check. So we're actually 2 over the average of the races here at Nashville. But I will say in both of the B car or Xfinity car Sunday night series here presented by 811, we had not seen a caution here until tonight. All right, Kevin DeBrown, Eric Arnold, the top 15 cars did not pit here. So once again, we've put all the dice in a bottle of Yahtzee and shook it up. And here we go, green, 30 to go. Well, somebody spin the tires back towards the back. Ooh, up the track goes 1 car, 3 wide. Ooh, Calantoni loose into the wall. Not sure if he had help or not. I saw his car get sideways and up into the wall he goes as he tries to use these fresh tires and put them to work. This race has been everywhere tonight. Look at Jimmy Coleman. He's been involved in 2 cautions, and he's up here in 5th. Martel, Gonzalez. Matter of fact, the 3 of them were in all in 1 wreck. And here they are, 4th, 5th, and 6th now. Fresh tires, the first one on newer tires, Jose Gonzalez. I say newer, I mean newer than the 54 lap. Of course, he came in at lap 65. The first on lap 76 tires. You have to go all the way back to John Schweiker, Braxton DeWeese, 13th, 14th, 15th. And these guys right here with Chad Coleman. Stephen Miles hadn't said his name really all night as he fights in the 7th spot right now. As up front, here comes David Santini, the guy that started outside pole. Gonna go to the front. I don't know much about this Santini guy. I don't know if he's ran in any series here in Sim500. But I know one thing, he's pretty fast and he's gone to the front. I can tell you right now he's not made a start here because I'm looking through the driver list where you can actually search through now on the SimRacer app website and or SimRacer Hub, I'm sorry, and his name is not on this list. So this is a brand new driver into the series now, and he is leading this race. John Schweikert, who might be one of the fastest cars in this race here tonight. Up into the 9th position now, bringing Braxton along with him. There's Fuller coming with him. There's Coleman 3 wide down into 1. That's tight. Alan Wild and 49 Hudson, and they're like, hey, let's do it again into turn 3. Calantoni going to fill the gap. And Coleman battle for the 5th position. He'll take that spot away. Martell there with him. And here's that Hornet's Nest we were just talking about. More 3 wide. Almost 4 wide. Everybody's just getting what they can get right now. Schweikert down the front, back straightaway here inside of Dalton. Braxton there in the 5 is caught him. You see Martell and Coleman, and these are the guys on the older tires now that the 1 starts to catch. He's not been able to slice through them as much as, or as quick as he could earlier in this race. Santini's pulled away by about 0.6 of a second. Kevin DeBrown right there in 2nd. Got Eric Arnold on his tail. Miles right behind him. As Miles battles with Gonzalez for 4th. Gonzalez just hanging on that right rear of the 24. As Braxton going to take the 51 and 19, 3 wide. Ooh. By the way, his first race as a 21-year-old. Give me a soda now. Ah. And caution is out. What car back in the grass? It's Joe Hudson. And for those who took tires at that last stop, whoa. Looks like E.J. O'Rourke might have been involved in this also. to try to open up the inside lane there. Backed off the corner so he can get the roll off. And slides right up and into the 49 car. Was already kind of loose on the tires there, but they just come together here. And here we go with the split strategy. All the cars with tires left are on pit road. And that magic number all night's been 15, and here we are. It looks like 13 cars have stayed out. Will the fresh tires be able to get through the field? And the million-dollar question here, is it about to break loose here in this race? All right, we'll get ready for the restart here. 14 laps to go next time by. We'll get the green, probably about 12 to go, as you're watching Sim500 and the NC811.org Xfinity Series on the Captain Esports Network.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
Back we are here at Nashville Superspeedway, virtually on iRacing. It is the Sim500 NC811.org Xfinity Series. So let's do some thinking here. Let's do some thinking. All right, so we've got the top 13 cars that have stayed out here under this yellow. These guys came to pit road at the last yellow at lap 75. We've got Tyler Dalton, who's trying 2 tires here, back in the 14th position. And then Kevin Brown, everybody else on back 4 tires. Looks like Martell maybe tried 2 tires also. The question is here, and I think it's more of a statement than anything, but I'll let you guys sound off on this. If we get some cautions now to wrap up this race, like 2 or 3 more, I would think this is going to favor these guys right here in the front. If we don't get any yellows, and we get the green here with 12 laps to go, does Dalton, Kevin, Santini, Martell, Arnold, these guys back here, do they have a chance to get up there? I think this is interesting play here. Now, I think obviously the worst case scenario here for these guys up front is if they get to racing heavy and they start wrecking each other, and allows those guys with the fresh tires to get into the picture. Of course, you got the 1 who's trying to get his first win. The 5 trying to get his first win in this series. And I think the 1's got to win here. Chad Coleman, who's the Iron Man, who's made many starts in this series and many wins. Justin Fuller has been winning everything here as of late. Anthony Calantoni's got himself a win this season. How about that 20 of Phillips? He's looking to get a win to 39 of Mark Jorgensen. He is, I think this might be his first start in this series this season. So, I mean, there's plenty to go around here with 12 laps to go. Need I say, this race might get Nashville hot. Though, according to Casey Carrington, who's a buddy of mine in another series, there's really no such thing as Nashville hot to him. Anyways, by the way, he's a Nashville native, so let that figure itself out. All right, we're coming to the green. 12 laps to go. Schweiker leads them to the green. Phillips would have jumped on Coleman, but he got through the gears pretty good. This is going to be the time you see people run people over. On the entrance of corner, some contact between Martell and Dalton. More contact between them two. Matt Martell taking contact like he's Rick Martell. Shout out to the model. Wrestling fans will know who he is. As Fuller's gone to second inside of Braxton for second. Thought he was going to take it, but he didn't. 3 wide towards 10th. Look at this mess. Oh, man. Dalton gets shot out to the top side and loses a ton of spots. Fuller did clear for second, by the way. Schweikert is driving away. He's out to about 0.6 of a second. Might be the biggest lead anybody's had all night. 9 to go. Probably a good time for me to remind you we do get 2 overtimes. As up the track goes Wesley Donaldson. Brings Kevin to Brown. There's the contact. They're hitting each other back here. I don't think they've wrecked yet. Segment went off the track. Everything's good right now. They're still hitting each other here. Doug Sigmund lost a lot in that whole thing, unfortunately. Wide, yeah, and around goes a couple of cars. Jimmy Coleman and Tyler Dalton and Eric Arnold. This is going to be big. As the caution comes out, Jeff Ryan, Kevin DeBrown, Josh Parker, Scott Formosa. Oh, and Jeff Ryan gets clobbered by Formosa coming back on track. I mean, in fairness, these guys have been wrecking for about 5 laps. Just finally finished it off. With 6 laps to go. Jeff Ryan drove Alan Wild down to the infield. They're 4 wide coming off the corner. Contact between the 93 and the 20. 54 to the 19 to 31 to 26. Ooh, T-bone for Parker. At that black and gray car, whoever that is. Arnold was pretty much pushing Kevin DeBrown through the corner. That's interesting. How about Martell getting through there? Oh, who's that coming in hot? Oh, he'll get laughed at, unfortunately, later on tonight. Ah, it's Barry Stevens, unfortunately. Probably a good idea to just stop at that point, but hey, he went for it. Well then, let's go on board with, watch this. Nice job. Looking for one driver. There he is. I mean, if Arnold wasn't hitting him, he was on him. Interesting. All right. So the furthest up anyone got on the tires in that run was to the 8th position. That was Santini. Miles is up to 10th. So that caution definitely just helped out these guys steal track position. Fuller, of course, running second outside of Schweikert, trying to re-kick his top 3 streak into gear again. That streak snapped last week at Milwaukee. Luis looking to extend that points lead out on Miles, who runs in, Braxton's in 3rd, Miles back in 10th. And of course, you've got the Mayhem down there near 16th right now. As we'll get 1 to go. And this will not be an overtime finish officially, as we'll get the green with 2 laps to go. Again, we remind you, tomorrow night, Kansas Speedway for the Cup Series, presented by 811. Join us for that at 8:15 Eastern Time with Kevin and I. John Schweikert, who's led the most laps here this evening. Looking to win this thing from the pole. As here he comes to the green flag. Green-white checker right here. Unofficially, should say. 2 laps to go. Gets clear of Fuller. Battle for 3rd with Braxton and Calantoni. Fuller putting the pressure on as he comes off turn 4. Schweikert almost got the wall. And here we go, final lap. Fuller tries to dive it in there to the bottom. Schweikert with a pretty good corner through 3 and 4. A dominant effort for the 1 car. John Schweikert adds his name to the list of winners this season and wins at Nashville. As Coleman wrecks across the line, Fuller ends up 2nd, DeWeese 3rd, Calantoni and Mark Jorgensen, your top 5. Schweikert burns it down. This is Schweikert's second overall Sim 500 win. And his first here on Sundays in the Xfinity Series. So we'll add his name to the list of Xfinity winners. Of course, his one win came in October of last year in the Trans-Service Truck Series, I believe, when he won at Texas Motor Speedway, the Legacy version. So congratulations to John on the win here as he parks it there at the start-finish line. And we take a look at the finishing results. That's actually the qualifying results. Let's throw the feature up there. There it is. As Schweikert wins it over Fuller. DeWeese finishes third. Calantoni fourth. Mark Jorgensen fifth. Stephen Miles sixth. Seventh goes to Chad Coleman. Eighth to David Santini. Matthew Martell ninth. And Glenn Campbell finishing 10th. Wesley Donaldson 11th. 12th goes to Charles Van Schaik. 13th to Alan Wild. 14th goes to Jose Gonzalez. And Brian Wortman gets himself a top 15 finish. So nice job on his part. As I kind of saw here for a second. For a reason. Just give me a second. Went the wrong way. I tried something earlier. Took a chance. It didn't work. Now it works. Yeah, it's a long ways to explain. But anyways, looking at the rest of the results. Basically, long story short, I can't see the results till something ends. And I tried to make an adjustment of where the results would show on my screen without being able to see it. So I took a wild guess at it. Anyways, 16th, E.J. O'Rourke. Joe Hudson 17th. J.P. Phillips 18th. Brent Scott 19th. And Doug Sigmund 20th. Jeff Ryan 21st. Ron Holyfield, Kevin Brown, Robert Barber, and Bob Gillenwater end up 25th. Mike Kelly, Scott Simley. Scott Simley mentioned 27th. Scott Formosa 28th. Barry Stevens, Eric Arnold 30th. Tyler Dalton 31st. Josh Parker, Jimmy Coleman, Kevin Stone, Robert Friery 35th. Tommy Ryan, Gerald Livingston. Going to be a big loss for him, unfortunately, finishing in the 37th position here on the night as we'll talk to our top three finishers as always. And start with the young man Braxton DeWeese. First off, happy birthday. Once he turns his mic on.
You hear me?
Yeah, I did. Happy birthday.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And you turned into a third place finish after a rough start to the race there, using the strategy to work your way up into a top three finish again.
Yeah, most definitely. I did not have the qualifying effort that I wanted with the P14. It's kind of hard to pass here. You know, the top line was there, but it came in more on the long run, if anything. I felt like I was making some time up there and was able to pass a couple cars with the momentum and stuff, and was able to trap them down there on the bottom once we had a little bit more of a long run. And I was looking forward to that. Wish we were able to go a little bit longer. I felt like I probably could have gained a couple more spots just on the the green flag run there, but yeah, like you said, we went with that strategy, and just how the last couple of times have gone, I was like, you know what, I know this is the last set, and we got about 30 to go, and the fall-offs, it's all right. So I just knew that it was going to be a little bit hard to pass. So they had about 30 lap older tires, and John and I were really carving through them, and then Fuller came in there, and we started, carving a little bit more, and then the caution came out, and they all pitted, and I could not restart to save my life there at all. I couldn't time it at all with John there, them last two restarts. Even if I timed it, I don't even know if it would have been anything. Maybe if I was like even with him on the outside and got that good of a restart, possibly something just to be able to keep him down on the bottom, pinch him down maybe or something. But all in all, he did a hell of a job. He actually lives the city right over from me, so we border each other. So it's pretty cool to see a guy from the area winning on a race like this, when anybody can join this, and it's a coincidence that he's, in the town over like that. So, a good day for us Dayton boys. So, shout out to him for getting that win, and glad we could at least, get a good points day and are able to talk to you, Chris.
Absolutely, man. It was a great effort to watch. I know the strategies came into play there. Obviously, the way the cautions kind of fell and so on and so forth. But again, tonight you get to, looks like, extend that point lead, which has got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely going into the playoffs or whatever it's called, and all these leagues, they're all different. But I want to try to get some more playoff points. I barely have any, if any, or just extra points in general. I can get them with the wins and stuff like that. So I'd love to get a win, at least a win before we get into the playoffs of the postseason, just to try to get a little bit more of a buffer for each after them 4 races. So that's one thing I do like about that is I believe it's 4 races, and then it's whoever is top, whatever, I don't know the number, but whoever makes it on however they set it goes, and then the last 4 races are on points too. And I like how it's on the points instead of just going down to one race, because you can win almost every single race, and then you can go to that last race and you cannot win it, and it's just like, well, it was just a waste of a year, even though you dominated. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to Mother's Day next weekend, and then the home track of Michigan after that.
There you go. Well, great job tonight. Congratulations. The lead is now 31 over Oliver Miles going into Mother's Day weekend, and great job on that, and send some shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to Booth 34 Diecast on the car. We're getting close. I feel like I'm just made to finish second and third with how all these are going, but we'll break through one of these days, and we'll get a win. So I feel like we've had the speed week in, week out this whole season. I feel like we've been pretty consistent, and when we haven't had the finishes, I feel like it's something that has happened wrecking wise or just damage wise or something. So I guess that's a good thing to look back on. We didn't have any bad finishes because we ran super bad. So that's always a good thing to look at, and we're going to get that win for them for sure. Also want to thank Interstate Ford, Bennett's Publical, Jane's on Main, Allen's Arts Images, DeWeese Renovations, Unrivaled Cinematography, Blaze Designs, and Bully Dog Coffee Company. You can go to his site, like I say, every weekend, or every time I try to get an interview. You go to his site and you use Brax5 for 10% off once you check out, and it helps everybody out. So try to use that if you go check them out. And I appreciate everybody that tunes in. Appreciate you, Chris, for broadcasting, and appreciate them putting on the league. And hopefully we can keep up the momentum and be a couple spots better. So we'll see what we can do on this off week and bounce back at Michigan.
He's the points leader going into that Michigan week coming up in 2 weeks, but tonight he's a third place finisher. Braxton DeWeese, good job, and enjoy your week off.
Thanks, Chris. Have a good one.
You too. As he finishes in the 3rd position, and Justin Fuller restarts his streak of top 3 finishes here with a 2nd place tonight. Congratulations, obviously, Justin, on the good run there. Obviously, come down to pit strategy all night with the cautions falling the way they were, and you guys just happened to pick the right one tonight.
I actually think we might have picked the wrong one. I think all those guys that pitted there on the last caution or whatever it was when we were trying to come through the field kind of made a mistake. I think they should have stayed out, but it would have been nice if we could have a lot more green flag racing. I'm not very good here on the short runs. I need the long runs to really play into my hand at this track. I'm not very good at hot lapping this place. So obviously it ended up working out. We got 2nd place, so we'll take it. But yeah, just all the cautions kind of sucked.
Totally understand the frustration there, but if there's positives to take out of this, obviously the top 2, but then also the points as you just continue to fly up the grid. Obviously now the 8th in points. So what was if there even was a question a few weeks ago, obviously it's not even a question now. It's more of the question: can you get to the top before the playoffs start? But that might be a little out of reach. But still, to be 8th and only 120 out and only run 2/3 of the race is pretty good.
Yeah, we've had a really phenomenal season. If you take away those 2 bad finishes I got between last week when I screwed up at Milwaukee pitting, Braxton and I both screwed up there. We were kind of playing games trying to get to pit road, and we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. And Daytona or Talladega, whatever it was, my average finish is 2nd. So It's been a really phenomenal season, and I actually just did the math on it. If you just take my average points and give me those for the 5 races that I missed, I'd have about a 100-point lead right
Yeah, I
now.
was gonna say,
So
you'd be up there pretty high.
I've had a really phenomenal season. But we got to keep building these points because you never know what happens. We got Talladega to end this. I'm not out of the realm of possibility of missing this by any means. I'm only 68 points ahead, and I'm possibly not going to be here for Michigan. So we got to look into that and just keep plugging away at these races. We got a couple good races tracks in between the playoffs and Michigan that are really good for me. Watkins Glen and Chicago. So I still feel pretty confident, but I can't relax on that at all.
Yeah, obviously, hopefully you're able to make that Michigan race. That would kind of be disappointing not to see, but you've obviously got the season going so far that'll carry you into the playoffs if you're able to make it up and so on and so forth. But hey, send some shout outs whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, so I might not be here because I'm possibly going North Wilkesboro that weekend. But anyway,
that would be a good. I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to you putting on the broadcast. Thanks to Sim500 and all the admins. Thanks to I'm a bad person. Who sponsors this series again?
NC811. It's okay.
Thanks to NC811 for sponsoring the series. There's too many people that sponsor. I can't remember. Thanks to Trey Edson for always keeping me looking good. Thanks to everybody that watched. Thanks to Units Moving in Portable Storage. Yeah, just looking forward to hopefully not having a bad night tomorrow night. I had a really bad Dover race, so we got to kind of rebound a little bit and not be terrible tomorrow night. I can't stand that next gen car, so hopefully we can back up to Nitro tomorrow night.
We need to get him that little cheat sheet that people give the drivers in NASCAR. They hold it up behind the camera so they can read all the sponsors off. We need one of those for you.
Yeah, I need one of those. Yeah, for sure.
Justin Fuller finishing second tonight. Need I say this real quickly? I look at Braxton's stats. He's got top 10s, 10 of those in top 10 top 5s, 10 top 10s. The only people that come close to that is one guy, and that's this guy here. And he's actually got 3 wins to one up that with 9 top 5s and top 10s. That just shows you who's been the probably 2 best guys in the series by far this season. So nice job, man.
Thanks. Should be good in the playoff time and have some fun, hopefully.
Absolutely. Justin Fuller finishing P2 tonight in the race. So way to bounce back after his finish there last week at the Milwaukee Mile. And a guy who's been fighting real hard to get that win over here in this series has finally pulled it off here in this one car for LaRue. Gets a second straight team win. And John Schweikert, your second win here in the series overall, but your first here on Sunday nights.
Yeah, how about that race, man? I didn't know that we were going to have that speed when we came into this race, and in practice, Rob really helped me out. He kind of gave me a few pointers, and then it just came alive. And man, we got the pull. We led a lot of laps, and came down to a heck of a fight there at the end. And man, I couldn't be more proud of this LaRue Esports team, and just what we got going on right now. We got a lot of momentum, a lot of good speed, week in and week out, and I think we're hitting on all cylinders right at the right time. A few races before playoffs.
Just talked to Fuller, and he made a comment that he felt that you guys actually made kind of the wrong strategy call there to go to the end. But then when those guys pitted, obviously to go back to pit road or whatever, it kind of puts you guys back on the right strategy. You feel the same way?
I would kind of agree with him because I took off and Braxton and I were running really tight. And then as we were coming through the field there, we weren't picking them off as fast as we were earlier. So it's hard to say. I mean, we definitely were not coming through as quick. And I think that, you still had to get tires at some point. I mean, obviously we did make the right call. We finished 1, 2, 3. So that's pretty good, right?
Hey, sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield, as they like to say. But hey, you've earned it. I mean, you've had plenty of great runs this season. If it's been wrecks or just rough restarts or whatever that has cost you in the end, you've done your part to go to victory lane this season. So you add yourself to that long list of people that have one win, including your teammate now.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome accomplishment. I know we got some really good tracks ahead of us. We got Michigan in 2 weeks, and Chicago. That's a really good one. I know Legacy, Texas. That's one that I've got circled several times on the calendar. So we got a couple good ones here before the chase starts, and hopefully we can carry a lot of this momentum in. And it'd be nice to see if we can get Martel and Nelson to win as well. Complete the quadfecta, I guess you want to call it, for Team LaRue. But hell, either way, we're having a lot of fun, and winning's fun, running good's fun, and we're going to keep up the momentum as best as we can.
Well, great job here tonight. Congratulations on getting the win as you add yourself to that list of winners, as I mentioned, and send a shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank you for broadcasting, Joey Gattina, for putting this lead together, and 811.org. In fact, I will tell you this. I had a project out back. I used 811 Ohio here in Dayton, Ohio,
Nice.
and they came out and got me cleared. So now I'm ready to get my project underway. So make sure you definitely do that. That's a good program. But big shout out to my teammates. Like I said, Rob, he played a good factor in this win tonight by the couple tips he had. Martel and Nelson wasn't here to join us, but LaRue Esports, check us out. Huge snowblower company up in Quebec, Canada. So happy to have them on the car. And just, man, I just got to thank all these drivers, man. They're tough. They race you hard. They race you clean. But we are having a lot of fun.
Well, great job tonight. Congratulations. A 1-2 finish for the Dayton area. I'm waving over here from Fort Wayne. And go celebrate with the team.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Yeah, you too. As John Schweikert goes to victory lane here tonight and gets LaRue their second straight win. So who's going to get the third one in a row come 2 weeks from now? But they've got it rolling going into Darlington race, or I say Darlington. That's what I'm used to saying. Mother's Day weekend, it's Darlington. But they get the week off next week here in Sim500. The Cup guys are getting ready to go to Darlington here in 2 weeks' time for their throwback race. But for the Sim500 NC811.com Xfinity Series, these guys are off next week on Sunday night, and will return in 2 weeks. As you heard mentioned, it'll be the Michigan Speedway for their race coming up here. I'm just going to verify that is actually correct. Michigan, in between Mother's Day and Memorial Day weekend off. Chicagoland, Watkins Glen, Talladega to finish out the 4 races before we hit the playoffs at Bristol Motor Speedway. So should be a crazy couple of weeks here. Get a week off, then we get a race, a week off, a race, and then 4 of them in a row to get to the finale there at Talladega. So should be a fun one. We appreciate all the viewers for watching us here this evening. Big shout out to NC811 for sponsoring the Xfinity Series. And again, we'll be back for the Cup Series tomorrow night as they race at Kansas Speedway. So looking forward to that race with Kevin England and I tomorrow night. Big shout out to the viewers as always watching tonight. I know obviously we had another big thing going on TV that we were watching and stuff as this race was going on. And appreciate you guys spending time over here on the Captain Esports Network. Make sure you check out the YouTube shorts that have been starting to be put up on the Captain Esports Network YouTube page. Or if you just go through the shorts like you do TikToks, you might see one come across your screen. Hit the like if you do. We'll get the one posted here from tonight's race up tomorrow. As usually it takes a little bit for me to be able to download the race and to cut up the video and stuff. So look for it tomorrow on the YouTube shorts there. So all right, let's head out. Big shout out to Joey Gattina again for allowing me to broadcast here on this series. As always, we'll get you a highlight package here after we get going here of the race. So stick around for that. And remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.